Ooh, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Darku, and in this video I'll be showing you how you can defeat the Pumpking easy mode fight without using a single item on your Pokemon. This is by far the best method to defeat the Pumpking easy mode, so that you yourself can unlock these moth wings with the death skulls on them. They're really cool and stuff. Yeah. Alright, so first thing is first, if you didn't already know how to even do this boss fight in the beginning, you need these spooky candies to begin with, which you go around and beat up children. Yes, I said it, you go around beating up children, you take that candy, okay? You take the spooky candy. The best way to do this, I would love to say that my Discord, or even anyone else's Discord, or even the PokeMMO Discord itself is the best place, but it really isn't. What you want to be doing when you're looking for these spooky candies and the kids is just go to the global chat. You'll see people popping out and saying about, obviously, the kids being in Kanto, blah blah blah. See that Kanto kids right here? Perfect, right? So everybody's helping everyone in global chat. This is the best place to find all of the kid locations when they respawn, etc. Obviously my Discord does it too, and I'm sure everyone's do as well, but the actual best place, and this is hands down, is the global chat. It's insanely good at working together and finding where the kids spawn. So when you take out these kids, obviously they have really good Pokemon that you can fight. They will drop these spooky candies sometimes they drop these other like XP candies, etc. But they will drop spooky candies. Once you have these spooky candies, you want to go ahead and try and find the mini bosses, which mini bosses look like these pumpkins just down here, but they usually glow purple and are moving. Once again, like this guy right here is calling out MB Celadon. So if we go over there, here we go, let's move this out of the way. As you can see, someone called out MB Celadon. We're in Celadon City, and you can barely see it. If you can't see like this, the best option what you can do is click Settings, and find your player render limit under video, and just turn this to 1 and then save it, and it will highlight just one person who's next to you or your friend, and then you can see much more clearer there's a pumpkin over there with the purple dust on it, etc. Yeah, this is kind of in the way, but it's fine. Anyways, when you defeat the pumpkin mini boss, because you give it a spooky you give it the spooky candy, the smaller one, and if you defeat it, you can get yourself the special candy, and then you give that special candy to the big pumpkin boss. So there you go, back to the pumpkin boss then. Obviously you can see him right here. He's in the main cities for each region. It wouldn't be very hard to find it. Obviously you can ask in global if you want, but we are currently in Lavender Town for Kanto, and obviously I always do all my stuff in Kanto, so here we are in Lavender Town, just above, and there's the pumpkin boss there. Once you go up to the pumpkin boss, then you can actually give it 5 spooky candies if you want to, or 1 special candy. This is so that you can do the 5 spooky candies for beating up the kids, but if you don't want to fight the mini bosses, you can just hand these in. The special candy obviously you get from defeating those mini bosses, so it's obviously, it genuinely is worth to defeat the mini bosses and then hand in the 1 candy. And then once you hand in that candy, it'll ask if you want to do easy mode or hard mode, and then from there on, that's where this starts. To close in the global chat then, I'm just going to bring up all the mon that I'm using in this strat. I used this strat last year, it was pretty amazing. I've slightly changed it this year because I have a Zapdos in my hand. So, as you can see, we actually have a Zapdos, we have a Kingdra, we have a Blastoise, we have a Jellicent, we have a Hydreigon, and we have a Gorobus. Now these don't need to be min-maxed. I will show you the IVs now. I'm not going to show you the Hydreigon one just yet because that really is min-maxed. And there you can see. Once again, the Hydreigon does not need to be min-maxed like this. In fact, none of your mons really need to be min-maxed like crazy. As you can see, Budget Bish, as I like to call this one, is 28 special attack, 28 speed. The same with the Kingdra being 27 speed and 27 special attack as well. And then obviously same with the Gorobus, 27 and 28. These are the sort of numbers I like to go for, as 27 or above for a cheap build. Usually you don't even need to breed these. People just put these on the GTL for silly prices. The items we will be using is the Zap Plate for the Zapdos, the Splash Plate for the Kingdra, the Mystic Water for our Blastoise, Sea Incense for our... what's this thing called again? Jellicent? Okay. And the Expert Belt for our Hydreigon, and the Wave Incense for the Gorobus. The reason why we do this is because you can't take any duplicate Pokemon with you, and you can't take any duplicate items with you. Obviously what we're going for here is a bit of a rain team, and we want our, obviously, water damage to be really, really high, so we're putting the Wave Incense on here, which increases the water type moves by 20%, all that sort of thing. So they're all different in their own respects, but they do exactly what you need them to do. So let's go over some moves and abilities then. So Zapdos at the top left, as you can see, the Thunder is going to be the only move that we use for Zapdos. When it comes to Kingdra, we're going to be using Brine, and that's the only move we're going to be using for Kingdra. When it comes to the Blastoise, we kind of need all of the moves. So we've got Water Spout, Rain Dance, Shell Smash, and Brine. Obviously the ability being the HA Rain Dish, which is really, really good as well, but the other ability will work too. Notice on Kingdra we have Swift Swim, so obviously if it's raining it has double its speed. Obviously we can't really change Zapdos' one, so that's fine. That doesn't even need anything else. For the Jellicent, it is important that we have Water Spout, Brine, and Safeguard. You don't necessarily need Surf, obviously we're not going to be using that, but you do need those 3 other moves. So with Hydreigon, obviously it has Levitate, it has Snarl, Dark Pulse, Nasty Plot, and Rain Dance. We will most likely be using all of those moves. Onto the Gorobis then, we're only going to be using Brine, and obviously once again the ability is Swift Swim, so it doubles its speed in raining once more. So the whole point of this is we're going to make the whole battlefield a rain field, and then we're going to play around that. Obviously we have the move Thunder for Zapdos, which doesn't really miss if it's raining, so obviously that's the backup. We're going to show you the quick order that you should put these in. So the order we're actually going to set this in is we're going to have Blastoise up front, we're going to have Jellicent in the middle, and we're going to have Hydreigon as our third. The last 3 doesn't really matter, obviously they might get chucked out now and again, but we want Blastoise, Jellicent, Hydreigon up front. Alright, so that's it for this part. We're going to now enter the fight, and we're going to try and talk you through it. Alright, so phase 1, turn 1, we're going to make our Blastoise use Rain Dance. With our Jellicent, we're going Safeguard, and with Hydreigon, we're going Nasty Plot. Phase 1, turn 2 then, we're actually going to make the Blastoise and the Jellicent both use Water Spout to get as much damage as possible, and we're going to use the Hydreigon's Dark Pulse as well. So phase 1, turn 3 then, you can see that the Pumpking has actually summoned some adds. What you can do here is just double Water Spout once again and use Dark Pulse on the main Pumpking so you can get as much damage as possible off. This should kill the adds and also take out the Pumpkin in phase 1. If for whatever reason you have terrible RNG just like myself and you low roll everything, it'll live on about 1 HP as you can see very clearly, but don't worry, it's just another turn that you can just use the same moves. Once again, you can Water Spout if you want, or you can use Brine, it'll be up to you, and use the Dark Pulse to finish the Pumpking off in phase 1. On to phase 2 then, turn 1, we're going to do the same thing as phase 1. We're going to actually Rain Dance with the Blastoise, we're going to Safeguard with the Jellicent, we're going to Nasty Plot with the Hydreigon. Phase 2, turn 2 then, we're going all out power, so our Blastoise and our Jellicent will use Water Spout, and our Hydreigon is going to use Dark Pulse once again. Once you get it low enough in phase 2, you'll actually get scared and start throwing your Mons back, and obviously bringing out the ones at the back. Have no fear, this is supposed to happen. So here we go then, phase 2, turn 3, you can see that it's summoned ads and it's obviously thrown some of your mons out, and it is obviously dependable on what mons you've got out at the time. If you're using your Zapdos, or if you've got something like a Jolteon for example, you can use Thunder on the main boss. Obviously if you've got Blastoise out or any other mon like that, like Jellicent, you can use Water Spout, which will obviously do damage to the ads and the boss itself, or you can use Brine if you don't really care too much about the ads. Obviously the ads won't do loads to you on this phase, I wouldn't worry about taking too much damage, but you can use, like I said, Water Spout, Brine, Thunder, what you name it, but you will kill the Pumpkin boss in this round. Alright, so phase 3 is when it starts to get a bit juicy. So phase 3, turn 1, on our Blastoise we'll be using Shell Smash. For Jellicent we'll be using Water Spout to try and kill the ads as well as do damage to the Pumpkin. On Hydreigon we're going to be using Rain Dance. So providing everything went well, we are now on phase 3, turn 2. You want to use your Blastoise and your Jellicent to use Water Spout once more to do big damage, and Hydreigon are using Dark Pulse. Now if for whatever reason it went wrong and your Jellicent maybe took too much damage and there's like an ads on the field etc, you want to still use Water Spout from your Jellicent, but you want to switch your Hydreigon with the Jellicent. If of course there are no ads and your Jellicent and stuff hasn't taken too much damage, you can just, like I said, carry on Water Spout from 2 Pokemon and Dark Pulse from the Hydreigon. Alright, and providing everything's gone correctly, even putting your Pokemon to 1 HP, yes that actually happens. Phase 3, turn 3 then, we're going to be using Brine from our 2 Water Pokemon and the Dark Pulse once again from the Hydreigon. Brine being really strong if the Pokemon is below 50% HP already, so that's exactly what we're going to be doing, and we should be able to kill him off. Sometimes, and very rarely, it can go to another turn. If for whatever reason it does go on to a turn 4 because you haven't killed him, do not fear, obviously you've got your backup Pokemon behind you as well. You can just use Brine from the other mon or Thunder from Zapdos for example. So there you go ladies and gents, enjoy your Skull Moth Wings, or enjoy just rerunning this as many times as you want to get as many pumpkin bags as you want. I hope this tutorial helped you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the videos. See ya!